Hello, 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 everybody. Happy Inflation Day. How is everyone doing this morning? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, we got our CPI print, which we'll get to in a minute. Good morning, Sailing. Good morning, Kalani. Hey, Ken. That pretty much sums it up. Yep. CPI hotter than expected. A big volume on the sell off. Yep. Well, we'll see how low it can go. I have the 10-year chart up there right now, though. I think that's the most important thing. And then we'll get to something in a bit. But here's your 10-year. Looking, was above 2% earlier. What was the high? 2.001, pulling off a bit. Just looking at the yield curve, the 10.7s are only 0.009%. Under 1 basis point. So closing in on zero, the 10.5s down to, here you go. Here's how close it is to your zero line. Heading down there pretty rapidly. Last time it was briefly inverted, was briefly in 19 only for a second. But then you see here on the weeklies, last major inversion was in '06 and '07. So, going to keep an eye on that. Let's check in with the markets. Where is my main watch list? Here we go. The S&P still not quite reversed the ramp yesterday on this move. So that's what I'm still watching, a 4510s to 4500s. We still haven't reversed all yesterday. So essentially this is a wash right now. Gonna see how it reacts at the open and whether they start discounting stuff. By the way, Fed watch tool, here it is. This was over 50%. Now it's back to, it went down to 43. Now it's at 48. But we're essentially 50% between a 25 basis point and a 50 basis point hike at the Fed meeting. Remember, there will be another number coming in before the Fed meeting. So keep that in mind. Here's the way the numbers came in. 7.5 year over year for 7.2 estimated, plus and up 7% in the last month. Month over month gains 0.6 versus 0.4 estimated, 0.5 in prior month. Core CPI 6% year over year versus 5.9 and 5.5 in the prior month. Headline CPI now is increasing at a fastest rate since February of 82. And from CNBC, the Fed is probably just a little bit behind the curve. We will see about that. I think they're a lot behind the curve, but we shall see. Let's check in on that NASDAQ. NASDAQ outside bar so far today, wiping out yesterday's. Again, still major support is all the way back at 14,500. Well, I want to see if we continue down there, how it goes lower. You can see the big sell-off from there. But other than that, not much to talk about. Just, I mean, the major area is still lower to watch for a break. So again, everything will key off of how it's going to open trading in about 20 minutes. Dow reversal, but not taking out yesterday's key support, now coming in right about 35,400. If we do break below that, I'm watching about 35,250. And if we had a rip your face off day, it would be back all the way to 34,950. But, even with this reversal, it's still just taking out yesterday's price action. Really key on the NASDAQ is 14. If we start getting some major selling pressure, is downwards of this 14,500 level. I'm just looking to see anything else that we need to talk about. Yep. CPI 7.5%. Gold steady. Let's peek in at gold. Gold is actually pulling back a bit. Again, we completed that double pattern, pulling back to the daily rotation zone. Now, what's interesting for me is, we're still in this massive range. Gold, if we do get a market really tanking, I'm expecting gold pulled back, and then that will be the major buy signal. Silver, which did not complete the target, went to the first little area and pausing there. Let's see, we already looked at the yield, but here's where you see we got a one-day pause, and now the 10-year rolling down. Again, my next major support is until about 125.26. Dollar is back in the range, moving up a bit. So again, overall dollars taking out both sides and back in the range, so nothing to talk about there. Mike, you said it great yesterday. Market is what it is, and we have to play it that way regardless of what we think. Yep. And just to point this out, essentially the Nas is down a little from yesterday, but with this S&P is now down a little. It's still net. I mean, we ran up, we ran down. Now we have major resistance at these highs, and with the Nasdaq right at that 200, which it got 1 day close over and then ran up yesterday and reversal. So I'm watching for the lower prices to continue into the open, but nothing will shock me in case they want to reverse it again. Holding longs overnight are so risky. Everyone who got in yesterday for a quick flip is now underwater. And yeah, and a lot of people just bailed this morning if you were in, the futures or anything else. So we shall see. Morning, Dave. Let's see. NQ gave up all destinies gone. Yep. We'll watch for that little bounce to the open. I'm thinking I'm going to watch for it to continue. I'm really interested in even if it stabilizes during the day. Remember, the professional money really repositions in the afternoon. Besides some hedging in the morning, it will be interesting to watch the last hour of trading. We can peek in on the VIX. Here is your VIX today. Sorry, I had to take this off from before, up a bit, but nowhere in crazy territory. Let's check in on some support levels. Where's the company that shall not be named? As I said, this will go the way the Nasdaq goes. Nasdaq down, but major support for me in Tesla is still at 880, 881 area. As long as it stays in here, it's just in consolidation. Crude, actually pulling back a bit. I'm still watching for a bigger pullback in crude, as I've talked about, and then it will be roughly time to reload. Let's take a look at the Russell. We didn't peek in at that. Russell back, crazy reversal here in the Russell so far today, but it did trigger this double bottom, so longer term going to be watching to see how that reacts. Let's see. Thank you for this quick morning update. I'm sure many of us needed this. Good luck, everyone, today. Manage your risk accordingly, and don't try to catch a falling knife. If you're going to try to bottom pick anything, wait for a strong reversal. Other commodities this morning, what do you want to look at? I mean, we looked at crude. We looked at gold. That's what. Tell me if you want to look at something, and we can peek in at copper. Copper is actually interesting. Copper's against major significant level, 469 area. Above there, it gets into some really interesting territory. So copper is still following through on the upside. Buy the dip. Longer term, I think we're going to sell off more. There's no pattern for me to buy just yet. There is nothing for me to buy just yet. I'm really going to just watch to see how it follows through on the open. The only way I'm looking to buy the dip is if we get a decent bottoming pattern, like a double bottom that triggers, or some kind of momentum bars the upside. But that could just be a rally, then another rollover play. So if you're going to try to buy the dip, I would definitely be moving up stops aggressively. This would not be a position I'd look to make into a major trade. The only way I'm getting more bullish again is if we're back above the 200. So again, my bullish line in the sand is higher. I'll bump that down a little, just above this 15,070 area. But that's the only way I'm getting bullish. By the way, this double bottom is still in play. It's hit these first and second target, but unless we really get down below this 14,500, it is still in play. That's all I really have. Maybe after NAS hit the 12K. Longer term, I'm very bearish on the NAS. I'm expecting it to take out these lows from the end of January, January 24th to be exact. Whether that happens next week or next month, I don't know. But I am expecting that to get taken out, and longer term for us to have a pretty significant pullback. And I'm longer term, I'm watching for at least this 13,000 area again. What time frames? I'd be looking at no shorter. I mean, you'd have to be super aggressive to trade a 5 minute. I'd be watching at least a 15 minute. Okay. And don't try to be a hero to pick a bottom here. You're better if you don't have anything to do. Step aside, especially if selling comes in. I can't continue this through the open, which is in 15 minutes, but especially through the open, if selling starts with the momentum bars down, don't just try to be a hero and grab any bottom unless you're very, very nimble. We will just check in on the Fed Watch too. I'm just curious again to see. It's just been oscillating back and forth. It's actually the website is really slow this morning, but where do we sit now? I want to see if it's back off. We're back above 50%. So again, we're trading. I mean, not being nitpicky, but I just wanted to see the short-term trend is still expecting that 50 basis point hike, and probably there people are now talking that there is probably going to be a hike at every meeting, even if they go 50 basis points. So we shall see. Everybody have a great day. Again, if there's anything major happening, I might do a midday update. I'd put that in Discord if I was going to do a midday update, especially if we really start selling off hard. If we sell off and then stabilize and range bound, I probably will just wait till the end of the day and then we'll review everything. Again, don't try to be a hero and just, I'm just going to buy the bottom. And you know what? If you don't have a pattern, sit on your hands. That's the advice I have for you, and I'll talk to everyone later. Bye.